And this is Nyx. How are you? Ask yourself that because I'm not there. But it is good and wonderful to be engaging this morning. If you have recycling, don't forget to rinse it out and put it out, okay? Don't forget to sweep around your own porch before you sweep around someone else's. This months, the last 2 months, we've been in so many different seasons. And right now we're in a season of a double retrograde. So there's a need for more grounding. I've seen it so as because I never get grindings in my coffee, but today I have coffee grounds. So that's definitely a spiritual meaning for grounding. More and more grounding, okay? Now, we're finding out there are two things happening. There are direct energy weapons being used. Someone of military access has access to these direct energy weapons. They're not that big, they're able to fit into shopping bags. This is why I believe that there's a new thing where everybody's running around with bags. You just don't exactly know what's in these bags. So there is someone who does have access to military type equipment, and there are small direct energy devices being handed out. Also, with that being said, it's a bit confusing knowing if it's spiritual or not, right? Because also these, in the same sense of the things, there are human beings that are also direct energy weapons. They have a certain sort of alchemy, a certain sort of knowledge that is just about the same as a direct energy weapon. So it's a bit confusing depending on what you believe and what you know as to what might be going on with you at any given time, okay? So the thing you do need to pay attention to are the animals and how they're acting. If they're acting sporadically, you may or may not have something in the energy, something in your stratosphere, something within a mile's radius or 20 feet that might be sending off a frequency that might make the animals go off. Also, if you have someone who is basically the same exact thing, comes up on the same frequency as a direct energy weapon, they also might make animals go a little nutso in that frequency. So that's something you need to pay attention to. Um, Dead birds. I've been seeing them a lot. So there's a lot going on in this atmosphere. There are people who are trying to get things done. No, I don't feel special. I feel like I am one of them that are directly affected by the frequencies. Okay? So hold tight and ground yourself and realize that there are a lot of things going on at the same time. The world is changing. Electronics have definitely taken over because, hey, we've got people who are smart and we have people who have invented some pretty cool things. However, we also have to understand that everybody should not have access to everything. We did see, remember in Kick Ass, when those girls were, well, when she had the military grade weapon and she was going around and making people spit up and upchuck and things of that nature. So we do know from certain movies and commercials and things of that nature that those things are possible. Once it becomes a concept, someone makes it a reality. So you have to understand that there are some military grade weapons that are able to fashion the same way as the hoodoo voodoo folks are. So be mindful that both things are happening at the same time, and they're counting on the confusion as to you not knowing where these things are coming from. Just pay attention to the people surrounding you. Are they carrying bags? Are they acting sporadic? Some of them are basically addicts, okay? Because once you start taking those trips into your mind, your brain does something with its frequency unconsciously. And some people Most psychologists, people who are in healthcare, they are aware that certain human beings, when they come into contact with certain illicit substances, their brain frequency does change and it does affect the atmosphere. This is why if you go into the old Lexington Market, I should say, because the new one, well, it's only got a new building. It doesn't have new inhabitants. When you go around a certain frequency of folks and there's too many there, you will see that the atmosphere is quite changed, right? But the thing you need to realize is the people around it, the people who aren't acting in such an erratic way, pay attention to their face. Pay attention to the body language. Some people really enjoy watching people suffer. So you have to pay attention to that. And some people are just curious and wondering what's going on, right? For some of us who quite know, it is a little amusing because you're like, does anyone else see this? Does anyone else pay attention? Is anyone else quite awake like me? Does anyone else have words for what's going on? The thing about it is sometimes even when you do have the words for what's going on, you have to be careful because some people want to take your words and want to take things and twist them to make it seem as though you are the conspiracy theorist. However, the same exact people who would twist them are also invested in making you seem as though you don't know what you're talking about because they get some type of benefit off of trying to make you confused as to what's going on, right? And a lot of times we call those chaos agents because why are you okay with the chaos? And why are you getting paid for keeping the chaos going? Why are you accepting payments, bribes, and why are you getting gifts and incentives amongst the chaos? You're not paying for it. Who's delivering it? Who are you working for? Things of that nature. So we have a lot going on as this world is changing. Between Demolition Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Monsters Inc., all these different things, Kick Ass. We have a lot of movies that give you little breadcrumbs, and you just have to fit it together and learn who to talk to and who not to talk to. Like I said, we have some people here who know you're not crazy. They know you're all right. They know that there are a lot of facts to the things that you're saying, but they can't confirm it one way or another because they have some type of investment way down in the jungle deep, right? So some of us have become John Rambo to ourselves because we have to figure some things out. We have to become sovereign and realize who exactly the enemy is. I remember when I was watching John Rambo and he finally decided after a while, he said, no, my fight is not in the Amazon. I gotta go home because that's where my fight is. My fight is coming from there. So you have to understand how John Rambo's seen it for a while. And he had to come out of the wilderness in order to get some things straight, okay? So sometimes you have to bring yourself out of the wilderness and act like you got some sense so that you can get some straightening done, okay? So remember to play your part. All right, so be mindful. There are some low lives that are just, they get up first thing in the morning and they decide that they're going to try to disrupt the place. However, that ain't the work I think they should be doing, but hey, that's my opinion. Right? Okay. So let's get into it. We have this scripture here and let's go. Job 39. We're not in Psalms this morning. Puerto Rico, Guatemala, Dominica, Haiti, Guyana, Trinidad, Puerto Rico, South Korea, Indonesia, Paraguay, Greenwich, Switzerland, Europe, France, Ethiopia, Sudan, Uganda, New Mexico, San Antonio, the name Antoine, first, middle, or last, L, A, K, M, R. The name R is really important. Letter R, initial R. That's all I got for now. Okay. So, yeah, let's get back into it. Job 39. The scripture will speak for itself. Please have your listening ear open because I'm going to go through the scripture once. You can, of course, read it yourself. 39, sometimes it's better when other people read to other people because some people are just lazy like that. So let's get into it. Job 39. Oh, my feather. Knowest thou the time when the wild goats of the rock bring forth? Or canst thou mark when the hinds do calve? Canst thou number the months that they fulfill? Or knowest thou the time when they bring forth? They bow themselves, they bring forth their young ones, they cast out their sorrows. Their young ones are in good liking, they grow up with corn, they go forth and return not unto them. Who hath sent out the wild ass free? Or who hath loosed the bands of the wild ass? Whose house I have made the wilderness, and the barren land his dwellings. He scorneth the multitude of the city, neither regardeth he the crying of the driver. The range of the mountains is his pasture, and he searcheth after every green thing. Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee, or abide by thy crib? Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow? Or will he harrow the valleys after thee? Wilt thou trust him because his strength is great? Or wilt thou leave thy labor to him? Wilt thou trust him because his strength is great? Or wilt thou leave his labor to him? Wilt thou believe him that he will bring home thy seed and gather it into thy barn? Gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them? She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear. Because God hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifteth up herself on high, she scorneth the horse and his rider. Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou cloaked his neck with thunder? Canst thou make him afraid as a grasshopper? The glory of his nostrils is terrible. He paweth in the valley, and rejoiceth in his strength. He goeth on to meet the armed men. He mocketh at fear, and is not affrighted, neither turneth he back from the sword. The quiver rattleth against him, the glittering spear and the shield. He swalloweth the ground with fierceness and rage, neither believeth he that it is the sound of the trumpet. He saith amongst the trumpets, Ha ha, and he smelleth the battle afar off. the thunder of the captains and the shouting. Doeth the hawk fly by the wisdom and stretch her wings toward the south? Doeth the eagle mount up at thy command and make her nest on high? She dwelleth and abideth on the rock, upon the crag of the rock, and the strong place. From thence she seeketh the prey, and her eyes behold afar off. Get something out of the thing to drink. Her young ones also suck up blood, and where the slain are, there is she. Once again, that is Job 39. Drink it. There you go. And that is that. You could read for yourself if you'd like to and find your conviction. Interesting. All right, so I got the ethereal deck out today. Let me clean off my surface. There you go. Cleaning. Sometimes when you're cleaning, you don't be gentle. Things get knocked over. There you go. All right. Clean my surface. Just don't like when the cards get stuck. And I'm not sure if I dropped any coffee. All right. Boom. So we got our ethereal deck. And hold up. Let me fix that. That wasn't quite lined up. Okay. Better. Okay. All right, that part. Okay, so hi. Welcome this morning. It's a Wednesday. It's definitely a beautiful Wednesday. And we're going to do some tarot this morning. I've got the ethereal deck out, assisted by my Astro Matrix book. Let's see where we're starting today. I got Queen of Cups, I got Queen of Wands, and I've got Six of Pentacles. Okay, let's see what's going on. These cards are so beautiful. I love my ethereal deck. I'm glad that I went back to it. These people are gorgeous, right? Definitely, okay? So we got the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Let's see what we got going on. Queen of Cups. Come on down. We've got water and water, which is a lot of emotion. And that Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, right? All right. So this is showing compassion, counseling others, maintaining calm, and breaking dependencies. So We have a very independent, soft girl, love a girl, who is very capable of loving herself, but she is willing to let someone else love her if they can do it properly. If she has to become a dependent in order to get love, I don't think she's going to like it there because that's a cage. And if you're a bird, you don't need the cage, right? How will you flutter your wings, especially if you're a bird of paradise, right? Definitely. See, some of the birds like Rio, he's like a rare blue bird. So when you understand the nature of the beast, you understand that some can't be caged, some can't be regulated, some aren't local, some are exotics, and they have to be treated as such. You wouldn't take a macaw or a one of those rare or a rare cockatoo. You wouldn't take that and treat that like a pigeon. You wouldn't treat it like a sparrow. You wouldn't treat it like a regular bird. You have to give it a special diet, a special environment, things of that nature. So when you take something that's rare and you try to put it in a common situation, you have to understand that it's going to have an adverse reaction. And it's almost just like the scripture that I just read. If you get a unicorn, of course you can't treat it like a wild ass. You can't treat it like a boar. You can't treat it like a goat. When you get something as exotic and as rare as a unicorn, you have to find a way in order to provide the environment. But the thing about a unicorn is it's wild for a reason. Just turn it down. That's all. Just turn it down. There you go. Yeah, so you have to understand that when you come across rare situations, that's how you have to treat it. You have to revere it and you have to treat it special. Why would you think that someone would treat you special if you don't have the ability to treat anyone special? And a lot of you are like that. You think you're entitled to some type of special treatment when you're just common. You're just like the last person. You're just like the person across the street. But you want to be treated special, but what is special about you? Really? If I can find 10 more just like you, why should I treat you special? And this is unfortunately something that I wasn't paying attention to. I know I was rare, but the problem is I felt as though people should understand a rare thing. They didn't. I was an open book, and a lot of you were illiterate. And that's okay. I accept the fact of that. So now I have to realize that I can't be a part of any of these common environments, on any of these common relationships, any of these common conversations, any of these common parties. I can't be a part of. And that's okay. The thing about it is, I can't allow something of a low quality to come in and try to make me or try to force me or try to coerce me to be treated just like the others. I can't do that. I won't do that. It can't happen. And a lot of people get offended at that and they call it arrogance, but honestly, it's called self awareness. If you understand the value that you bring to a situation, the value you bring to an environment, a home, a conversation, then you understand you don't have to let people treat you like others. But it's also up to you to remove yourself from the situation, especially if you know you aren't like them. Hence, Kendrick Lamar's, they not like us. And a lot of people will say, "Oh well, you think you're all that. Well, you're arrogant. You should humble yourself. Humble what? For what? Do you even understand the word humble?" And honestly, allowing you to talk is as humble as a lot of people have to be, is allowing you to have your space and have your voice and things of that nature. It's just that you get so upset when the person has walked off. But they're not forced to stay. No one is forced to stay in a place in which they don't want to. No one is forced to stay in a place where someone feels as though they have to be humble. Some of the worst people use that word. I remember when a scammer who was living out of the trunk of his car said something to me of that nature. He said, "Why aren't you humble?" And what I should have said at the time is, I'm not humble because I own more than two pairs of tennis shoes. I don't get dressed out of the trunk of my car. I do not hide in other people's places. I can put my home in my name. I don't suffer the fact of wanting to be with other people's man. I don't like that. I tend to hold myself in high regard. So I don't know what humble would be. Humble would be to this person, me thinking less of myself while thinking more of this person while they don't even think more of themselves. Sir, you eat McDonald's. There is no way you plan on humbling me. You are not faithful unto yourself. There's no way you plan on humbling me. The fact of the matter that you want to be with someone that you think you can humble is a very disrespectful notion. And a lot of you need to get over yourself or get out of the way. There is no more middle ground for that. There is no more benefit for any doubt. You see, once you come into a person's situation and you need them to step down so that you can step up, you need to step off. And that's fact. I saw a little thing where someone had a party on the 4th of July and they had armed security at this party and gunshots ended up happening. And the crazy thing about it is we've got these kids here that want to be Hunter Biden so damn bad that they don't even understand what Dave Chappelle was talking about when he said you should have never gave these niggas money. It's because y'all get money and the first thing you do is want to be seen with it. You can't secure it, you can't retain it, you can't regenerate it, but you want to be seen with it as soon as possible. So yeah, the robberies are coming, the guns are coming, people gonna knock you over your head and push you over and rob your parents and scam you and everything else because y'all want to be nepo babies so bad, but you ain't coming from new money. You coming from stolen money, you coming from scammed money, you coming from schemed money, you coming from fraud. You coming from a woman who actually went into the office and started screwing every goddamn body. You coming from a man who went into the office and used his power so he could screw everybody's wife. And these are the same people who are running around stealing, and because you can't see it, they ask you to be humble. And then you've got these reverse nepo babies out here because they feel as though my dad has and my mom has, so they coming out here and they showing their ass, and you trying to figure out why are you so ignorant. It's because I can call my auntie. She work in the office. It's because I can call my daddy. He work in the office. It's because I can call my auntie. They work in the office and they gonna put that job on the line for me because you don't know who I am, because you don't know who I am, and because you don't know who I am because do you know who you are? Does your auntie know who you are when you call and you asking for favors and saying that someone is doing something to you? Do you tell them what you are doing to them? Did you tell your aunt, did you tell your uncle that they might be possibly ruining their career by helping you get past and get over and get through something? Y'all is not nepo babies. Y'all is entitled, ignorant, little bread snatchers and crumb snatchers. And you tell yourself because you are the new age and you can press a few buttons and figure out a few things in the backlog of a computer that you are exempt from any punishment, any contempt. You are exempt. You all are no Hunter Biden. He would never. At least he has the wherewithal to be humble at some point in time. Y'all got people who just work for who just work at regular jobs, and y'all tell yourselves that y'all is the creme de la creme, and y'all can't even get that job. Y'all can't even apply for that job. And if you don't watch out, The person who you think you got in that office, in that position, may not have that job to help you either, because you tell yourself that you don't have to be humble, but you're calling people to help you. It's an awesome world we live in. Everybody's so goddamn creative. You can't create peace. You can't create your own positions. You can't create your own things without trying to tear everybody else's down. No. You've got to make 5 phone calls before you get anything done. 5 phone calls. And you've got to bend wills. You've got to break rules. You've got to whisper. You've got to delete these conversations right after you have them. But you tell yourself that you have more power in the world. Okay. Okay. Back to what we were doing. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, Six of Pentacles. So we have the nurturing of the queen, and the queen has to stay independent, whether it be man or female. Sometimes the male does have queen tendencies. He will be nurturing. He will be independent. He will be nourishing, but he will have the wherewithal to let you go and to end the conversation when the conversation no longer has anything to give. It's not giving anything, okay? So now we've got the Queen of Wands. Be confident, having strong motivation, needing to socialize, increasing your self-esteem. So the Queen of Wands, she likes to stay away from things. She's a queen, but she doesn't like to be in the fair. She doesn't like to go to the big crowds and things of that nature. She knows those things. She does socialize, however, she also knows that there's a time and a place for things. Six of Pentacles. Give love and respect to others. Be generous. Being generous, helping others, needing self-care, avoiding extortion. Oh. So someone is trying to avoid extortion. That's a lot of us. There are people who, if they can't get things from you, they'll try to put themselves in a situation where they can blackmail you or extort you. It doesn't always have to be money. Sometimes it is emotional extortion. So someone is trying to position themselves in a position of power to where you have to go through them to get to something. In that case, that person needs to be humble, because if you're not God, why would I have to go through you to get through anything? You know, there's other people in other places that can do the same exact thing and get away from you. Okay, so that was what's the Pentacles? Alex, thank you. As a matter of fact, go that way. That way. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Taurus. So we'll start in Taurus today. As a matter of fact, I want to switch decks. I need something more direct. Ethereal is a bit classy. I'll save that for maybe a Friday or a Sunday. I need direct. Direct. There you go. Now we're good. Order in court. Order in court. Taurus. Six of Wands, Ten of Swords, King of Swords. Public recognition, victory, progress, self-confidence, painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal, loss, crisis, failure, collapse, defeat. King of Swords, head over heart, discipline, truthful, honest, mental clarity, authority. Okay, somebody is about to come clean. 16, there's the tower. Yikes. Okay, so the six is public recognition. Someone now knows someone is being exposed. This is not a good victory, okay? Public recognition and someone's self-confidence will be affected when it comes to that, okay? So there's a painful ending, deep wounds, betrayal, loss, crisis, failure, collapse, defeat. Someone is exposing something and it's going to create a tower. This is Taurus. We have Leo, Gemini, and Taurus. Head over heart, discipline, truthful, honest, mental clarity, authority. Okay, so that's me. It might be a tower for a collective amount of people. However, someone is basically not that emotionally invested. However, they do know that the truth does need to come out. So someone's going to expose it. They are included in it, but they are not that affected. They're doing it as a head over heart decision. They're making the decision without feeling. We got fire and air. There isn't a lot of heart in this at all, actually. This is basically just doing what's right. So somebody's about to do what's right, and unfortunately for some others, doing what's right is also going to bring a tower to more than a few people. I'm going to say plus five. So as this person comes clear of their conscience, some people are going down. Okay. All right. So we got the Six of Wands, and we've got the 10. That is the Tower, and we got the King of Swords. So there is going to be a big shutdown cut off, okay? And that's the 16. That is the Tower. Put it together, that's 7. And that is a complete cycle, okay? That's Taurus. Let's get over to Gemini. I am the Gem that I say I am. Every time you impede me, my nigga come to me easily. Okay, so then we got the Two of Cups, and we got the Page of Pentacles, then we got the Queen of Cups. All right, unified love, partnership, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, connection, manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, diligence, compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitively caring. Somebody's about to go into not a reunion. Are they doing a reunion? I don't know. It's up to you. It's not my suggestion if you want to go back to someone that you used to be with, or if you want to move forward, okay? So we have, wow, it's only a 2. So something is being balanced out. Someone is about to balance out their responsibilities, their love life, and their home life. Everything's about to come into a balance. Maybe you're going to get some assistance. Maybe you're going to get some support. Maybe there is a divine masculine or a divine feminine who is coming in to assist you with your things. Hey, all right, that's a good reading. So like I said, unified love, partnership, manifestation, financial opportunity, and maybe when you get with this person, you guys are going to go run up the bag together. Maybe you're not, maybe it's going to be a business and a romantic relationship. When it happens, and it's rare that it happens, you have to understand that there's going to be a lot more logic then it is going to be a lot then it's going to be mushy stuff, okay? The mushy stuff might come as a result of having the logic. So put that where it is. And we have Cancer, we have Gemini, and this is the Gemini reading, okay? And that's what that is. Sun, moon, rising, take what resonates. I want to heat up my coffee in a minute because it's already cold. I've been just yapping, but it's a shorter reading today. Okay, so let's get on over to Cancer. Let me do some deep shuffling. Ooh. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and add us energetically to the algorithm, because there are a lot of people who need different readers. Everybody doesn't read the same, and everybody doesn't give the same message, okay? So definitely. All right, so we got the Queen of Pentacles in Cancer. We've got Nyx, God bless the child that's got his own. And we've got the Hierophant coming out. I said Hierophant, not the lower font, okay? Not the higher font. High row font, not low row font. A lot of times people say, I'm the Hierophant, but then they go low. You got to get it together, okay? You got to get it together. Okay, so we've got Sagittarius and Capricorn. We've got Nyx, which is Gemini. We've got the Hierophant, which is Taurus. So there's some grounding going on. There's a bit of passion, but what it is a bunch of reciprocation, okay? Nurturing, practicality, providing financially, a working parent. God bless the child. It's got its own institution, traditions, religion, society, and its rules, social approval, conformity, forgiveness, bonded mercy, wisdom, and trust. All we have is five out here, which is unexpected changes. Looks like it's going to be pretty good at expected changes. However, remember your independence as even as you become codependent and you begin to correlate and coexist with someone, remember your independence. That's going to be the deal breaker. Sometimes we get in these situations and we become a dependent, not realizing that if you get comfortable in that situation and the rug should be pulled from under you, where will you stand then? So remember, even when you get into a situation where you can indeed depend on your partner, still remember that you still have to be able to depend on yourself because things change, moments change. If freak accidents happen and you end up on your own, no one planned it. But the problem in the matter is you need to be able and prepared to keep going forward by yourself. Things happen all the time. This is why you can't just get comfortable and complacent just anywhere just because a person says, oh, let down your guard. You don't know what can happen. You walk out today or tomorrow and a building falls, a bullet with no name on it. You understand? You eat something bad. Anything can happen. So this is the thing. When you get into a relationship, it is great for you to bond and become one with one another. But remember to always remain one with yourself, okay? Do not take these things for granted. All right? So that's what that is for Cancer. You have 5, which is unexpected changes. Remember to nurture yourself, parent yourself. This is something that a lot of people don't get. If you've never had the parent that you wanted to have, then this is when it's time for you to parent yourself. Be the parent that you always wanted to be for yourself. And this is how we can heal a lot of these emotional wounds, these mommies and daddy wounds, because we get so caught up and say, oh, my mom didn't do this. Oh, my dad didn't do this. Oh, my brother. Oh, my aunt. Oh, my uncle. Okay, well, if they didn't do it, you be that person for yourself. Okay? Do you understand? Be that person for yourself. All right. So that was the Cancer. Remember the number was 5. Life path 5. Unexpected changes. Yeah. You'll get the drift after a while. You go through the loop a few times and you'll understand. It's something I'm starting to look at. Tessography, right? It's when you are able to read different things. Hmm. Hmm. An interesting skill indeed. I think I just did it, but I'll read more into it to see if I'm accurate or not. Okay, so let's keep going. So Leo, what's the dealio with the Leo? Justice, uh, 4 of Pentacles, and 8 of Pentacles. We got 11, 4, and 8. 1148, 1184, November, March the 11th, 8448, August the 14th, January the 14th. Hmm. 1948. Hmm. Older. Hmm. Okay. Justice, fairness, truth, clarity, equality, balance, cause and effect, law. Saving money, security, conservation, scarcity, control, frugality. Diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. So there's justice and fairness, and you being able to hide whatever you have as far as your resources. And it's well that you're doing your due diligence to develop skills and other things to maintain, manage, and regenerate resources. So it is just and fair that you keep yourself grounded. This is what I started with, being grounded. So this is going to bring you justice. Being consistent, being fair, having conservation, security, and developing your skills. This is going to bring you justice. So for my collective who are basically on the straight and narrow, they're staying away from dissemblers. They're making sure they're not overextending themselves and spending money they don't have, or keeping the money they do have and not spending, frivolously. These are the people who are actually going to get justice. As long as they stay out of harm's way and stay clear, they're going to attain justice. Okay, so we've got 11 plus 4, that's 15 plus 8. Well, let's put it another way so that we can count it up. 19. Yep. 19 plus 4, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23, which brings us back to 5 unexpected changes. So you just keep your head down. You keep your head where it's got to go. Keep it in your work. Keep it in your child. Keep it in your ministry, which is your life. I call your ministry your life. Because if you're not ministering to your own life, what are you allowing someone else to do? Okay? So, yeah. So as long as you keep to your ministry and you husband your garden, justice will come for you. All you got to do is stay out of the way. Right now, they have this big old program where they can basically sully up your record or do anything that will get you out of line for the next wave of the, I guess, the new world order, where they're trying to make sure you have something. It's easy for them to get you out of voting. A lot of you don't respect voting enough for you to understand that that's a right. It's easy to get you out of being able to serve on jury duty. A lot of you don't understand that is a right that you have as a citizen, and it includes you into the bigger picture. So when you start doing things and you start getting a lot of things on your record, when you can't pass a lot of background checks, you don't understand that puts you in line to not receive a lot of other things. Now, unless you are going to call everybody you know in every office and they're willing to put their life and their livelihood and their next paycheck on the line just so you could get through and get your foot in the door, a lot of that stuff is going to change. A lot of policies are going to change when it comes to that. The nepotism is real, and it's gotten a bit dangerous. It's gotten out of this world. Remember, we used to have those questions on there that say, if you have any relative agency, you need to speak up. Do you have any relations, things of that nature? Well, people started definitely leaving that type of information out. You could very well be in a whole room of a whole entire family, and just because they've all gotten married and taken on different last names, you won't know that everybody is related. So, like I said, a lot of us are related by marriage or by money, and you just don't know who. Okay, so be mindful of that. Keep yourself clear. It does not matter if that person looks like you, have the same skin as you, have the same last name, y'all done broke bread together. Be careful, be aware, be alert. We are in a whole different thing where it's dog eat dog out here. And I mean, you don't know whether the person right next to you is the dog that wants to eat. All right, so that was our Leo reading, and that was for Libra, Virgo, Capricorn. Libra, Virgo, Capricorn. Yep, resonates really good. Leo, Libra, Virgo, Capricorn. That makes a lot of sense for the numbers that I called out. 84, 11, 84. So there's a Virgo. There's a Sagittarius too. Yeah, a Scorpio too, a Pisces, and an Aries. It's a Leo and a Virgo, but it's also a Libra. That was the Leo reading. Okay, so now we got Virgo. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Get in here. Congratulations, condolences to all. That's what it is. Have the day you deserve. It is Wednesday. Mike, 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 Mike. Don't forget to get over the hump. We've got the Eight of Wands coming up. We've got the Six of Swords. And now we've got the upside down. What's going on? What's going on with the Three of Cups out here? I don't do upside down cards, so this is upside down. So that means I have to take it. It's a rarity. Okay, so speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, manifesting quickly, quick decisions, air travel. Okay, so Eight of Wands is either it's it's action, but it looks a lot like communication. It's a Sagittarius energy, first decon Sagittarius energy. Something's moving very quick, almost like a chariot, but seems like it's a little quicker. Air travel, whether it's through the moon, whether it's through I don't know why I said the moon. Is it the moon? Somebody's communicating with the moon. Anyway, air travel. Okay, so air travel is internet, wild web, world wide web, communications, text, emails, airdrops. In some cases, in some people, it is telepathic. It is the intention of thinking very hard and someone else receives that signal without having to pick up any electronic device. Okay, sometimes it just happens like that. You say, I just thought of you, and then somebody picks up the phone and calls. That happens. It does happen. Okay, so we have speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, manifesting quickly, quick decisions, air travel. Then we have transition, which is the Six of Swords with this Aquarius energy. Transition, change, leaving behind, releasing baggage, moving on. So somebody's about to get some communication, or they're going to communicate that they have to move on. They're out of here. It's kaputs. They're out. Boom. Na 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 na. Hey, 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 goodbye. Na 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 do 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 na 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 do 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 do. Hey, 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 goodbye. Somebody's retiring. Somebody is surrendering. Somebody is resigning. That's the word. Somebody's resigning. Somebody's going to turn in their papers and get out of there because it's less embarrassing if they just leave. Okay, so somebody's going to do that. That's 86 or 68. Maybe somebody's turning 68. I don't know. All right, then we got the Three of Cups, overindulgence, heavy partying, isolation, independence, alone time, threes of crowd, gossip. Okay, so somebody's got a lot messy, and through the messiness, this is why their social situations have gotten a bit tedious. So now they've got to go over the calmer waters. They've got to leave that friend group alone. They've got to leave that work group alone. They've got to leave that work environment. They've got to leave that bar that they sit in. They've got to leave that casino that they be in. They got to leave that friend group. They don't go back to that club. Something like that. So someone's going to move on because they've stirred up enough stuff in one environment, so it's off to the next environment then. Okay, so and this really just touched on when I was talking about that party where the lady, she left. She was in New Orleans. Her grown up adult son decided to throw a party at her house, and he sold tickets to the party. However, while selling tickets to the party, he did hire an armed. I was just talking about this. He hired an armed guard at the party. And the thing is, if you're hiring armed people, you know that there are dangerous people coming to the party. You know that there's a potential for problems to start. The thing is, why did you use your mom's house? Why did you put her in such a situation? And then when she responded, she tried to include the fact that she has contacts in government and things of that nature. I don't know whether or not that was supposed to make it easier or give less judgment, but here's the thing. we've got these kids out here that feel entitled to take advantage. Remember when Shaq said, I'm rich, y'all not rich? Yeah, we got a lot of these kids out here that will take advantage. They will take advantage of their parents' situation or their parents' job contacts and things of that nature and bring down the whole entire family because they want to be seen. They want to be the Hunter Biden, and they're nowhere near that. So that was embarrassing for that mom, but that mom might have to deal with a lot of a lot of pushback because her child decided that he wanted to play Floyd Mayweather for the night. And a couple of people did get hurt, and some got unalived, all because they wanted to have that party. So, this is the Virgo reading. Make sure that you're not going in bigger than your britches. Stop trying to be bigger than what you are. Stop trying to be the bee's knees when you really ain't even the bee's toes for real. You understand? There are some people who do a lot to try to be a lot. But if you're not a lot, why are you faking? Why are you fronting? Why are you pump faking? Like, what is this about? Why are you stunting on people for no reason? That is the most unattractive thing ever in the world, is for a person to keep shooting high when they really are low, especially when you see they have lack of self-confidence. And this is why they'll try to put on a big show like that, is because they lack something, so they need to compensate by putting on a big show when really they feel less than adequate on the inside. So this is what that is: Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Cancer in the Virgo reading. I am the gem that I say I am, and I'm very on point. Take what resonates. Sun, moon, rising. We got the 3 and the 6, which is 9, plus 8 turns that into 15. Somebody is obsessed with acting like they got it, but they really, really don't. And 9 times out of 10, this person is willing to steal it and embezzle it in order to get it, and it still ain't theirs. So, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey, 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 goodbye. Ooh, the high priestess in the night came out. Boom, boom in the bottom. Intuition, sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine feminine, trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, high morals. Energy, passionate, inspired action, adventure, fearless, impulsiveness. This is in betwixt the things. If you don't like facts, then you don't need to be here. Okay. What are you doing down in that play area? 4 of Wands. 4 of Cups. 12. Boy, boy, boy. Ancestor messages. Pull up. So the 44, you already know what's going on. It's about it's going down. All right, so somebody ancestors been pissed off because somebody's been sleeping in my bed, my bed, my bed. Somebody's taking my place. Yeah, yeah. It's the real Cisco. I bet you do. So, celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, homecoming, community. Yes, I like that. And then meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, disconnected. Then we've got the hanged man, pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things different than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. So, someone's foundation is getting pretty good. The ancestors do want you to have a great foundation. Also, while being able to meditate and being able to take yourself in and out of situations as so be it. Having pause and surrender is not a bad thing. Being able to stop and being able to take in what's going on and evaluate the situation is one of the best superpowers you could ever have, right? Because you don't want to be impulsive and end up knocking over a bunch of stuff. Who wants to be the bull in the china shop? Not me, of course, not me. So with this Libra reading, we got 4 and 4 and 12, which is 8 plus 12. And what does that bring us to? A 20, which is balancing the polarities. So somebody's going to be balanced enough to where they can manage having a relationship and also manage having business, having things to do. So someone is definitely going to find some balance in their home life and their night life and whatever they want to do. There is balance as long as there is pause and there is surrender to the things that you cannot control. All right, so someone should exactly remember the serenity prayer. This is what's going to get you through a lot. And like I said, we're going to 4 and 4 is 8 plus 12. That brings us to a hearty 20, which is 2, which is balancing. Someone is ready for more responsibilities, or they have definitely balanced out what they have going on. Hold up, let me go check and see what he's doing. Oh, now I understand. Ladies and gentlemen, the person who keeps jumping in the chat about my child's welfare is his father. He has basically cut some of my son's hair and he's directly using it in a voodoo ritual. Him or his mother, they go to see practitioners and they give out his hair and do things to my child. And this is why it's perfectly timed that my child goes off when I'm on this chat, because he's doing things to my child while I'm on this chat. So, Douglas Thomas, you do not love this child. You are not here for this child. You have no right to mess with his energy nor mine. You are nobody to you, yourself, your twins, and whoever you come across. It is unfortunate that I've ever been in your company or your family, but I'll let you know now. Step away, go away. You and your family, you have taken your family through enough. You are taking me through enough. I am not your family. We are not connected. If you are still involved with my ex family, then so be it. But what I need you and them to do is push off, because y'all is invading my privacy. Y'all have definitely gone into HIPAA and y'all are doing some really strange things behind closed doors. We all know what it is. What I need you to do is leave my child alone. You do not take care of him. You do not support him. Leave him alone. And the fact that you keep wanting to get on here on different profiles and do this thing and you haven't seen your child, please stop going around and acting like you are a victim. You are victimizing people. Sonya crazy. Y'all go take y'all Seroquel and be out. Amazing how he seems to calm down when I call you out. And I did not ask for your mother to cut his hair, and I kept asking you, did she cut his hair? And you lied and said she didn't. I knew you cut it. She cut his hair, and this is why she cut his hair. Cause something wrong with that lady. Either way, it should be against the law for people to be that bad, that horrible in life, and think that they're entitled to a good time just because they can find a practitioner. And by the way, while you spending that money, do you understand that lack of paying child support can put you in jail? Tell you, your mother, and your family that while you embarrassing them by shirking off your responsibilities and trying to be on here, call yourself trying to tell somebody business. That's why I keep you out my business. Anyway, like I was saying, but it's Libra reading. Someone is getting balance of their life because they can no longer be knocked off balance by people who are not balanced. Okay, that was the Libra reading. And like I said, it's going into a 2. All right, Scorpio, let's keep going. All right, so we got the 9. Ooh. Ooh, Scorpio. What's going on here? I got another upside down card. Let me look. Nope, my cards aren't upside down, so it definitely is coming out like that on purpose. Okay, let's go. All right. Courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries, less than, gearing up for worse, pessimism, weary. Okay, so there's a battled warrior, the wounded warrior, courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries, last stand, gearing up for worse, pessimism, weary. Somebody is tired. They're worried, or worn down, something like that. Okay, then we got the 10 of Pentacles upside, the 10 of Cups upside down. This is Piscean energy. Shattered dreams, broken family, domestic harmony, disconnection, misaligned values, struggling relationships. So this is what someone has going on. We got the 9, 10, 9. I got you, my dear. Okay, we got the 9, 10, 9, right? And that shattered dreams, broken family, domestic harmony, disconnection, disaligned values, struggling relationships. Then we got the next 9, which come true, contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, and gratitude. So someone has to go forward with courage and strength. It looks like someone is broken. Someone has broken themselves in the pursuit of luxury and gratitude. So somebody has made a real bad show of things. Someone has made a real bad show of things. They've acted a fool. Yeah, I got 2 Pisces and 1 Sagittarius. So somebody shot their bow and they were trying to be Cupid. Other than that, it went the other way. They don't have the Midas touch. Even if they should present some pentacles and some cups, it don't go like they want it to go. Ew. Let's get out of here. 9 is 18 plus 10. 9 is 18 plus 10. That's 28, which is 10, which is wish fulfillment. Okay, so somebody has to go forward with shattered dreams. They have to find a way to keep it together. This person might still want family. This person might still want all the things that you're supposed to want in life, but they don't know how to go about it because they've never had a normal situation. So this person is just going to be going through the motions for the rest of their life. Even if they do get luxury or stability, they won't have a lot of gratitude because they don't know how to affect that. They can go through the motions, they can smile, they can nod their head, but the inside is pretty much empty. They've gone through so much, right? And this is upside down, right? So even if they do find themselves even in an ideal situation, they won't be able to enjoy it because of all of what they've went through. That's sad. That reminds me of what happened to Robin Williams. Like, you would think he would have, he wasn't broke on the inside. You know, money can't fix everything. So even if a person does everything that they want on this earth, if they don't have happiness, then what was it all for? Oops, sorry. I was trying to turn it down. Sorry. That's all. There you go. Why Lion King for the last few days? It's been Lion King for a while. Is he trying to tell me something? Oh boy. So the 10 came out right as I started talking. A lot of times when I'm talking out loud, this is what's happening. Okay, so the wheel is changing for someone. He keeps watching the circle of life for some reason. He keeps watching that. So something is about to happen. My condolences to those who have people who you basically know aren't doing too well, speak your piece, have your conversations, make your plans and everything, and do what you have to do. Now is the time. Now is better than later. Okay. Mm, that was pretty grim. That was pretty grim. Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius, let's go. We started off in Taurus. So Aries is the last. Okay, Five of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and one Ace of Pentacles. So that's six. Equal give and take to the universe. Let's see. Financial loss, lack mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity, creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy sunrise, dreamer, sensitivity, new love, abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, prosperity. So somebody's going through a major financial loss. They got a lack mindset, isolation, worry, need, poverty, security. This is our Sagittarius reading, and that was a Taurus energy. But then we've got this Page of Cups. So the financial loss is actually someone's going to lose everything, and just like that, they're going to have an opportunity come across. They're going to have to use their discernment depending on this opportunity. There will be opportunities that will be bad. There will be opportunities that will be good. That's like in every situation. But the thing is, they have to use their discernment, because a lot of people, when they see you out in the cold, they feel as though they can offer you anything. It's up to you to know your worth and know what is worth to come out of it with. So be careful that nobody tries to take advantage of your situation. Even if you feel as though you don't have it, don't allow anybody to take advantage of you just because of it. Don't just be letting people just come in and throw you anything for the sake thereof, and you just take it, okay? So don't be taking just any cup just because they offered it. You may need some things. They may have some things that they need, but is it worth it? Remember to take the pros and the cons of what that might look like, okay? And there might be a situation where you will come into abundance and you can manifest. Know that if a situation, sometimes you don't have to take a situation in its whole, in its wholeness. Sometimes the person just comes to give you an alley-oop. Sometimes the person is not supposed to be involved in the whole entire situation. So there might be a situation where somebody can actually show you somewhere where you can actually take off by yourself. Not so much as you need a person to take you anywhere. Sometimes the opportunity just might be presented. They might be able to show you a direction and where to go. So be careful of how much you give and how much you take. All right. So that is that for you, Sagittarius. And that's the 6. Remember, you will reap what you sow. So be careful of sowing. All right. Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus, Sagittarius. So remember to ground yourself as you fire up and get started and ignite. Okay, so now we're off to the Capricorns. Whoa, boy. My cards just shot out, so that's, what is that? Sporadic energy. Somebody being impulsive. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Okay, Capricorn. Okay, so the Hermit fell out. The 3 of Cups fell out. Dang. Y'all just want to tell me what to do. Okay, come on out. I'm waiting for the 3rd card. Why all these? All of them? Damn. Okay. Alright. Alright. Oh boy, let's get it done. Because it's messy. It's messy. I ain't gonna lie, it's messy. Alright, Capricorn. Let's go. So we got the Hermit. We got the 3 of Cups. We got the Tower moment. We got the 6 of Wands. We got the 10 of Swords. We got the King of Swords. Okay. It's a lot of cutting off, coming on, and getting through. All right. So we got soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom. Alex, stop. Soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth seeking, being alone, independence, near guidance, inner guidance, meditation, consciousness, celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, friendship, community, happiness, sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelation, disaster, awakening, release, sudden insight, public recognition, painful and head over heart decisions. Okay, so this tells the whole story. 1414, temperance. This is exactly what I have to use as I go through this whole story. Hold up. A nice sip of tape. All right, let's go. Okay, so someone went into hermit mode, and when they came out, they decided to collaborate with some people. They put their head to the ground, and they decided to collaborate with some people, right? So after they collaborated with some people, they whatever they collaborated, it fashioned a tower for some or all people, right? A tower is different for everybody. Somebody might have lost somebody. Somebody might have lost a car. Somebody might have lost a job. Somebody money might have went slow. Somebody might have got robbed. Somebody might have had a car accident. Somebody might have got some bad results at the hospital. However, everybody had something different going on. However, there was a tower effect that happened to a group of people who happened to be in conjunction together, right? So now a lot of stuff is getting exposed. People are starting to figure out, well, that's why that happened to that person, because that person got bad juju, or that person went in and stole from that person, and that one was in that person business, and that one was passing rumors, and that one sleep with that one boyfriend, and that one sleep with that one husband. So this is why all that's happening, right? So people are starting to realize why all the chaos is happening, right? It's because who they connected to. So a lot of people are starting to feel back, still starting to feel like they've been stabbed in the back, because y'all ain't tell me y'all was getting down like that. Y'all ain't tell me that this was going on. Y'all ain't tell me that that was going on, this, that, and the third. And you put my name in it, and you put my number in it, you put my email in it, you put me in it, you put my child in it, you put that, you put your mother in it, you put your father in it, you put your homeboy in it. So a lot of people are starting to feel backstabbed because they didn't think these people was getting down like that. They didn't know people was having conversations like that. They didn't know people was exchanging information like that. They didn't know that your boyfriend or your girlfriend got slept with in the midst of them trying to stir up a bunch of stuff. A lot of people did not know that. And some people caught some strays because some people just don't have nothing to talk about other people. So a couple of people caught some strays, right? It's natural. It's collateral damage. They've got to talk about everybody so they can talk about this one specific person, because it's going to look suspicious if they don't talk about everybody. So the head over heart decision came, and some people had to be truthful, they had to be honest, and they had to cut some people off. So there will be a few people walking away from some people because they realize that they have a penchant for messiness. They have a penchant to carry bones in other places because they have no bone of their own. So they'll pick up one of your bones and carry them because they dry as hell. Don't nobody really be interested in them. So they got to talk about somebody interesting every time they enter the room, because if they talk about themselves, everybody would get up and leave, right? That's basically the case. So in the pursuit of fame, pursuit of happiness, in the pursuit of just wanting to be somebody who somebody listens to, other people will carry other people's name and then drag them through the mud because they have no mud to speak of. Some people have a penchant for drama. So in this Capricorn reading, that was 6 cards. 6 is a fix, right? So somebody got their fix. Somebody likes drama, and they don't mind going through cycles worth of cycles because they don't really feel like they are that stuff. So they create a lot of drama just so they can have their name in stuff. And that's really bad, because eventually, as you get older, having your name and stuff, it just looks a bit messy. It looks a bit tired. It looks a bit played out. It's just like, and I'm not even going to coddle this thing with words. It looks like the new Madonna's new outfits. I have a lot of respect for Madonna as an artist. However, as she's gotten old, she's decided that she didn't want to age gracefully. She wanted to be like everyone else. And this is the issue when people go in trying to do things like everybody else. She used to be so different, so ahead of her time, and very revered, only for her to turn out and be like everybody else at this golden age. And that's something to consider. Some people that used to be icons back in the day, they hold on to the same image for so long that they don't realize or read the room when they come in that this is no longer your time. It's time to pass it on. And for others, For others, they've stolen so many moments from people just because they weren't able to sustain any attention themselves, not realizing eventually that was going to be a part of their whole personality and their fabric. The messy person who tries to steal attention from others, not knowing that there were people that actually did give them that title, they just haven't accepted it yet or heard it out loud. It's time to let them know you're messy, go sit down, nobody's here to see you. Otis, go home, Roger. Bless you, my dear. All right, so we're going to get over to, oh, let me add up these numbers. This is a lot of dang numbers, okay? So let me do it the best way I can. So we're going to put the 3 with the 6, so we're going to do 9 and 9. So we've got 18 plus 10. 18 plus 10 is going to be 28. And then we've got the 16. So 28 plus 16. I've got the lid right here. 20. 8 plus 16. 14. Ooh, that's 49. 49. And that's going to take us to 13. Death and transformation. And then that brings back to a 4, which is the foundation. Someone's built that foundation on being messy, and someone's built that foundation on getting the hell away from messy folks. You decide which one you are. And that's death and transformation. Somebody's about to learn that they're going to have to go ahead with all that. 9 times out of 10, because this person can't be as messy as they want to, this is the person that goes in a nursing home and decides to wage war on all of the daggone caregivers. You didn't change my diaper right. It's wet on you. Let water fall on my sheets. This is the person that's going to end up very, very miserable in the end. They're going to end up with their room all the way at the end of the hall in the nursing home because nobody really going to want to come do things for them because they've been messy all their lives. And this is what their karma is to be messy, and people just going to be trying to put them away for the rest of their lives because they don't know how to go sit down somewhere. It's a shame how some people end up messy. Have you ever gone into one of them convalescent homes or nursing homes? I have plenty of times. I've worked in them where you see people who've been messy all their lives to the point where even their family just don't got time for it. And they end up being the talk of the nursing home, and people actually sit around and talk about how much they not going to do for that person because that person just starts shit all the time. Somebody's destined for that. And let's just hope that they got enough money to go into some of these nursing homes, because these nursing homes ain't cheap. They charging you for that food whether you like it or not. So hopefully they ain't that messy to the point where they really get put up Schitt's Creek and people really leave them getting the cubitus sores and things of that nature. I've worked my first CNA job was in a nursing home on Furnace Branch Road. I remember like it was nothing. And you just would see people end up in there and their families would barely visit and barely bring things for them and everything. And the reason was because in their life they were messy. In their life they didn't do much for people. In their life they just were entitled. They felt as though because they got old that they were entitled to care. But if you didn't care for people throughout your life and you only created obstacles for people just because you wanted to be seen or you wanted to have conversation, what makes you think that you're going to get the rest of it done gracefully? So some people need to understand that you're not entitled to anything. Yes, it would be nice. And yes, people should take care of people of all ages and in all conditions. But you have to understand the things the energy you put out, you will undoubtedly get again. It will come back to you. All right, so now we got Pisces. Aries is our last. 0-14-3. New beginnings, possibilities, innocence, spontaneous. Optimism, trust in life, blind faith, adventure, opportunity, pleasure, balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, finding meaning, heartbreak, suffering, grief, emotional pain, sorrow, hurt, divorce, loss, depression. Okay, so somebody's going to have to suck it up, Buttercup. Okay, somebody's going to have to mind their manners and go forward and accept heartbreak. Somebody's going to have to let it go. Somebody is going to have to definitely pull up their big boy drawers, their big girl panties, and accept that this life goes on. Okay, heartbreak does happen. Okay, there are times you're going to wake up and things are not going to be going your way. You have to go forward as an adult. This is what we're here for, to teach the lessons and to go forward. Some of you can't get past a bad conversation. Some of you can't go forward if you get fired. Some of you can't go forward with getting dumped or broken up with. Some of you can't go forward with an eviction. Some of you can't go forward after your lights get turned off. You feel as though the world is going to end if you go through some type of adversity. But a lot of you need to go through adversity so that you can learn how to depend on you. When people when they skip through life and they don't ever go through things and they tell themselves that they will never be in things, that creates a very confusing situation for them, because if they should ever find themselves in adversity, they don't know how to go forward. That's how people go postal, because they never go through things. When you are a child, it's best to go through things when you're younger because you got that bounce back. But the older you get and the less you avoid depending on yourself and building your own foundation and always having everybody else be your contingency plan, one of these days you're going to fall flat on your face and your feelings going to be hurt, because guess what? You're supposed to know how to build yourself back up. If you've always depended on somebody else to get you back up, God forbid the day that you find yourself in darkness. That's going to be a bad situation for you. But the thing is, it's nice to have people to depend on. But what if? Will you get back up? Can you get back up? Do you have the skills? Don't find out at the wrong time that you don't. On the other side of 50 is the wrong time to find out that you can't build back up. So I suggest you start building them skills long and way before. Some of us had to become grown way before we were ready to be grown. But fortunately for us, we built them skills. While people sat in our face having all the answers, we still built them skills knowing that a person might give us the wrong answers on purpose, because why did you let me falter in the first place? It's okay. Keep what you got. I'll do it myself, because I know that there's the situation where you might let me fall or I might fall again. So I might as well learn how to fish myself, because if I let you feed me, you can poison my fish. So I might as well learn how to do it myself, because if I allow you to always be the one to make me step up, I also allow you to be the one to keep me down. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. It's great to have friends, it's great to have connections, but can you connect to yourself and get up? Can you be alone in the wilderness and survive? A lot of you can't. A lot of you need somebody to get up every day. You need somebody to tell you what to do. You need somebody to tell you whether you're going to turn left and you're going to turn right. But you fix your mouth. You fix yourself as though you got it, and you don't. You got to call somebody for it. You got to ask somebody for it. You got to beg somebody for it. You got to lay in somebody's face to get it. You've got to get over on somebody. You've got to lie, kill, steal, cheat, and destroy to get it. But can you stand on your own 2 feet with your 10 toes down and make it happen? A lot of you can't.
But y'all gonna run your mouth about other people. Oh, they ain't got it like that. They can't call 20 people like me. They can't do this like me. They can't cheat like me. They can't lie like me. They can't steal like me. They can't sell coochie like me. They can't sell wood like me. They can't do this like me. No, some people don't got to do it. Some people just got themselves. And to glory be God. Some people got themselves and they got more than what you got. You might got 20 people helping you get $1. But that one person who got it by themselves could get $20 and then got to share it with nobody. So you think about that when you standing on the shoulders and the backs of everybody else. And know that when that pyramid come falling down, all them bodies hold weight. So you stand on your own and tell me some real shit or not. Because guess what? When it's with the birds, you got to feed the flock. I'm glad I was able to go out there and learn. I was glad that I had to parent myself. I didn't like it at the time, but now I love it. I love the fact that I don't owe nobody credit for nothing. You might have showed me a thing or two, but you didn't build and you didn't teach me. You didn't invest anything. I learned. I got them encyclopedias out. I got them dictionaries out. I got all the things that I needed. I Googled what I needed to Google. I got up early. I went to them programs. I did everything that I needed to do. And when I had to ask other people, I watched them and I said, you know what? I ain't going to ask you. Because I see you got a barrier in your head for me. Sometimes you ask people and you can see in their head, well, damn, if I'm going to teach them, I'm only going to teach them but so far because this person might take it and run with it. And I seen it every time. I seen that look every time I fixed my mouth to ask somebody to do something for me. And I seen the barrier immediately come in their eyes when they said, ooh, if I show her this, I can stop her there and charge her for this. And that's when you got to start throwing people out your life, sweetheart. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. If you cannot build for yourself, if you got to call 5, 20, 10 other people to get your things done, then they have the possibility to tear your things apart. God bless the child that's got its own. And you chose one, and you collective, and you special rare unicorn in your life. Because people can look at you and know that you can do it on your own, those people are going to get together and try to break your stuff apart. Because how dare you be as strong when I told everybody you were weak? How dare you have mental clarity when I needed you to be confused? How dare you support yourself when I tried to take everything from you? I tried to take your money. I tried to take your food. I tried to take your peace. I tried to take your kids. I tried to take your blessing. I tried to take everything that you had and you still get up every day and build. How dare you when I told everybody that I took everything from you and I am nothing. Because I don't do nothing but sit up every day and try to take everything from you. And I don't build anything for me but a headache and anxiety and ulcers in my stomach. Because I'm too worried about you getting somewhere that I never tried to get. Because all I tried to get was pregnant and on that altar. Some of you, the only thing y'all put effort into is getting into somebody's face and getting into somebody's space. If y'all put more effort into taking care of yourself, people would be running after you. People would be like, hey, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, Mr. Sir. I need a word with you. I want to talk to you. I need some of your counseling. I need some of your ideas. But for the people who know better, they know a talk with you would just empty you, would be draining. So today, clap your hands for yourself if you were able to build. If you were the James Brown in your life, I don't want you give it to me. Get out my way. Open the door. I get it myself. Some people want to be gatekeepers so bad and they don't even know how to build a gate. They still had to call somebody. And they mad at you because you can draw up a plan and try to figure it out. It might not look the best, but you figured it out. Your gator keep somebody out. Some people don't like how you bless. They don't like how you can get up and Lord and create with the Lord and come up with a conversation and have it. They don't like that. They need to consult this one. They need to watch the Daily Show. They got to watch soap operas. They got to see what this one talking about. They got to call that one. They got to call this one. They don't like the fact that you get up and you self-made. You get up and you come up with an idea and you bring it into fruition. They don't like that. They got to watch the latest influencer. They got to watch the latest rap song. They got to see what songs was playing on the radio before they, oh, well, they like listening to that. I'm going to do that. Oh, well, they like wearing that. I'm going to wear that. Everything ain't for you. What is for you? Are you for you? Or you waiting for the call? Are you waiting to call somebody to see which way you're going to go? Are you waiting for somebody to tell you which color to wear for the day? Or you waiting for somebody to say, oh, well, wigs is in, perms is in, braids is in. You're waiting. Some of us don't do that. Some of us don't have the luxury of waiting. We got to get up, make it happen ASAP every day in a different way. And some of you don't like that because you have to go by somebody's syllabus. You have to go by somebody's catalog. You need somebody to tell you what to do. You need instructions. And there are some that can do, and there are some that don't. I'm not a don'ter. I'm a doer. No mud, no lotus. You call yourself a seed, but do you see seeds waiting for the other seeds to grow before they sprout? No. You better get your own frequency. You better get your own start. You better start your own foundation. DIY means do it yourself. This is your Pisces reading. 0-14-3, which is 17, which is 8, which is karma. Did we do Aquarius? Because I swear we just went straight over Aquarius, straight into Pisces. The oatmeal? Oh no! On the stove. Okay. So that was the Aquarius reading. Sorry about that. And that's why it was so intense. 0-14-3, that's 17, that's 8, karma. So it's a new beginning at the top of the year. By the top of the year, there will be a new beginning. There will be more temperance. But somebody's got to get used to letting go. They've got to get used to the end results. Somebody need to grow up. There are a lot of adults that fortunately and unfortunately need to grow up. They've never really been through the real things in life. Y'all been skating by on other people's coattails, sleeping on other people's couches, renting people's rooms, not putting your name on things for real, and skating by and playing adults. There's a lot of y'all playing at adults. Y'all want to play house, you want to lay up and make babies, but you don't want to raise them. Y'all want to get house and y'all don't know when the damn trash day is. Y'all don't know how to take care of y'all neighborhoods to where the water and the septic tanks don't build up. Y'all don't even know the proper damn toilet paper to buy half the time, but y'all adults. All y'all know is money and consumption. I got enough money for this. I got enough money for that. They look like they got some money. Let's take some of theirs because I don't got enough money. But you never thought about creating your own opportunities or your own jobs or your own money or your own foundation. You just want to feed off of each other. Y'all just want to step on other people to get where? Where will other people step if you never become a step? So everybody just gonna be sliding because this is what it seemed like right now. Because everybody want to skip steps. Now all we got is a bunch of slides. And half of y'all don't even know how to play tiddlywinks, yet alone shoots and ladders. A lot of y'all can't play Monopoly because it's too much work. It's too much reading. It's too much real estate. Y'all can't comprehend. All y'all want to do is play with the money. Y'all can't comprehend what's going on in the cards. That's why we had some of those board games so that y'all can get some concept of how things work. Y'all don't even want to do that. Y'all want to take the money out the goddamn game and go play with that, not even knowing the game. Don't go that. Go outside. Some of y'all need to play the game of life, the real one, the real game of life. Before they decided to put all of these animals and things in the car. I don't know what happened with that. But a lot of y'all need to really go back to the basics where instructions were necessary. Because y'all tell yourselves y'all gonna make your own rules everywhere. And the rules don't even make sense. Either way, let me get off of this. Pisces and Aries up next. That was Aquarius, Uranus energy, Sagittarius, Libra, Aquarius. A lot of heartless decisions. A lot of heartless decisions made as though they were made in good counsel, and they were not. People put on a good face while they was lying to you. People put on a good face while they was lying about cryptocurrency. People put on a good face while they was lying about love and hip hop. People put on a good face when they was talking about Zeus Network. People put on a good face while they was selling you nothing but mess. And you're all bought into it because it was part of the culture. Y'all gonna learn today. Set your own sail. Be the wind in your own sail. See what direction you go. Because y'all keep waiting for other people to be the wind in your sails, and they're going to blow y'all right in the wrong direction, and they're going to make money off of it. Because half of the people y'all taking direction from is pirates, and all they searching for is booty. So you go on and set sail, Captain Jack. All right, Pisces, what's up? What's going on? It get heavy sometimes when these messages gotta come through, but I ain't got time to coddle with nobody. Ace of Cups, Two of Swords, King of Cups. I was about to say the King of Nothing. What is that from? That's from Shrek. You're going to be the King of Nothing. Some people do want a throne, but what are they going to be the king or the queen of? Nothing. All right, so we got in Pisces. Love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal, marriage. So somebody's gonna have a baby, a newborn chocolate baby. If it's a boy, give it a toy. If it's a twin, give it a spin. Wrap it up in toilet paper, send it down the elevator. First floor, stop your mother. Second floor, stop your further. First floor, you better not stop because HOT spells hot. So somebody's coming in very, very hot with it. Somebody's in love. Somebody want a baby. Hey, do you have the job? Do you have the house? Do you have the temperance? Because you know kids aren't the easiest, especially when they're learning, because they're learning how to react from us. They're learning how to pause from us. They're learning how to include things from us. Do you have the proper temperance, whoever this is that wants a kid so bad? Okay? Chill out. Make sure that you have the finances, the emotional wherewithal, and the pause and the surrender. Because sometimes you just got to let these kids kid. Okay? Okay. So we've got difficult decisions, weighing options, avoidance, deadlock. So somebody is deadlocked in the decision as far as going forth because they know they want love, but they also know they don't have the environment to nurture a love life. So somebody is going to have to make some tough decisions. Do you need to get away from your work environment? Do you need to get away from your family dynamic? Is that a tough situation when you bringing in new partners? Because I can tell you, some people, when they get into certain relationship dynamics, their families are difficult. Their families don't really want them in a good relationship because that means that they can't call them. Some families don't want you in a great relationship because if your relationship is better than theirs, their partner might wake up to the realization that they might be able to get a better partner. Like some people don't want you around because of comparison. Are you ready for that? I hate when I make a mess. A mess, a mess, a mess. But okay, so yeah, some people aren't ready for that. So you're gonna have to make some decisions, especially if you have kids, older kids. That also can be something. Sometimes you have kids that have it in their head that I'm going to push mom or I'm going to push dad back into a relationship because somebody else has has that story, not realizing that sometimes your friends, their mothers and their fathers, they stuck together because they couldn't afford to go get another spouse, or they had low self-esteem. And you're sitting there comparing your child, I mean your situation and your mom and your dad to their situation, not knowing that them people are miserable. Them people are bonded together because mom or dad then brought home a STD, and nobody, the reason why they faithful is because if he leaves, he's going to kill somebody. If he leaves, he's is not sexually healthy enough to leave. Some of y'all don't understand why some people stayed together. Some people didn't stay together because they loved each other. They stayed together because that's it. That's the end of the road. They know they not nothing to give to nobody else. So some of you kids need to just get on over it. If your mom and your dad broke up, stay out their business unless they invite you in it. Because y'all don't know the things that's going on. Stay out of adult situations unless an adult puts you in it and explained everything to you. And sometimes you still need to stay out of it because it's called boundaries. Because when you get to that point, you need to understand how you're going to feel if somebody becomes intrusive into your situation and starts coming up with their own ideas and not knowing what's really going on. Some people can't afford to get out of their relationships. Some people can't put their name on stuff. Some people can't afford to get out of a relationship because of the secrets that they tell or the pillow talking that's happened. Some people only got married because they didn't want that woman or that man to become a witness on the stand, so they got married. If you're not grown enough to understand that there are 20 different decisions that go into marriage, I need you to shut up and head on out. Because life gets real. And marriage is not just about love, it is a business situation, it is a business transaction. So a lot of you need to understand, if you ain't in it to be in there and really get through things, then you need not do that. And some of you need to understand, when a person wants to let you go, you need to let people go. All right. So this is your Pisces reading. 1 and a 2 is 3, which is divine intervention. Libra, Pisces, and Scorpio. Somebody's very clear on what's going on. Somebody's deadlocked. And somebody's moving on. Somebody is about to find a really good Knight of Cups, and by way, whatever they find is going to bring them into the kinghood. It's going to bring them into the King of Cups. So this Knight of Cups, once they get with the person who they're supposed to be attached to, they're going to become a King of Cups and no longer a knight. But they had to decide to let go of certain situations and violence and things in order for them to get attached into the right situation. And that has been your Pisces reading. 1, 2, 3. It is 3, divine intervention. I think you're going to have to wait on God. God going to bring the person for you. All right. So now we got the Aries reading, and that's it. Fortunately and unfortunately for some people are going to get away from it, are going to say no marriage forever. But most of the people who are going to say no marriage are people who are not disciplined and cannot deal with a difficult situation and aren't able to get into things and get out of things without being childish. So that's, I'm not going to say some people are built for marriage and some people aren't. But I wouldn't discourage people from getting married only because you got to be childish not to be able to get into things and get out of things. The same way you're able to accept a job, that's like saying never get a job, because jobs can be disappointing and supervisors can be idiots and this, that, and the third. That's the same as saying never get a job. So I wouldn't tell anybody anything. Only a stupid, childish person would say never get married. It's the same as don't get a job. It's the same as never have a kid. It's the same. People will tell you things based on their limitations. Don't allow stupid people or people that are in proximity who happen to make a sound point at the time give you any advice. Some people can only give advice based on their limitations. So if a person is bad at relationships, they're going to say, oh, don't you never get married, because they can't do it, because they can't be trusted to do shit. The same way a person say, well, I wouldn't get no job. Well, it's because you're going to get fired a lot because nobody really wants to hire you, because you probably steal or do things on a job that you shouldn't do. Like screw Susan and Steve. So you be careful of who you take advice from. Some people are only giving you advice based on their limitations, not yours. All right, so let's get on over to Aries and be done with it. You're back in that play area again? Something serious. Okay, Aries, let's go. Oh, the devil comes out. 16 and the 5. Okay, so shadow self, attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, temptation, seduction, destructive behavior, materialism, codependency, toxicity. Then we have the 16, which is sudden change, upheaval, chaos, disaster, awakening, release, sudden insight. And then we have the Hierophant, which is institutions, tradition, religion, society and its rules, social approval, conformity. I put those words together. And forgiveness, bonded, mercy, wisdom, and trust. Okay, so somebody is obsessed. Their obsession or their addictions, I'm going to say their destructive behavior has brought across a tower, and they have destroyed a lot of institutions and beliefs, being as though they had to be involved in medicine. So there are a lot of towers that are going to be happening across the board in institutions. Some people with religious beliefs have been altered. Society and its rules, social approval, conformity, forgiveness, and mercy, bonded. There are a lot of bonds that are going to be broken. There are a lot of people's perspectives that are now changed going forward. And there are some serious talks that need to be had. Because there was a lot of conversation and a lot of advice given based on other people's limitations and understanding. People not understanding that these people were giving advice based on their limitations. So, like I said, there are a lot of elders I won't be taking advice from, that I can't take advice from, because they haven't advised themselves out of a brown paper bag. And that's what I had to say about that. Until next time, this is Nyx. Don't come for me. I came for you.